We need to find this place or we'll be late.
Make a left on Astrology Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant right. It should be right here. 444 Spearway. Oh, turn.
It looks like Renee. Yay, we're on time. The James and Kellee Show.
Great, let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Both Sides Now and Beyond. I'm spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White. And you can see James Van Prague is not with me tonight as he is in Europe for the next, to the end of October, actually. But I did speak to him today, and he's busy and he's filming and he's having a really good time. Sounds like he and Gordon are just having so much fun being together and doing what they do best. So hello, everybody, but I have an amazing guest on, which I cannot wait to tell you about. So this is going to be a really fun show. So thanks for tuning in today. And I want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Mimi. Oh, I'm glad you're looking forward to, yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I have the best guest tonight. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Brenda. Yeah, that whole war thing, that whole Mars thing, right, Brenda? You're absolutely right. I am going to do a little astrology here. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Marge. Hi, Scott. Hi, Cheryl from Massachusetts. Hi, Renee Hansel. Hi, Patty. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Vincy. The remodeling, you just would not believe. I'm in a huge remodel right now, and it's unbelievable, actually. They put in an enormous cathedral size and style window today, like 18 feet or something. It's just enormous. So yeah, it's quite a day and quite a time to do a remodel, frankly. But thanks for asking. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Susan. Hi, Charmaine. So let's talk a little bit about the astrology. And actually, even before I get into the astrology, I want to talk about an event that's coming up next year in February and then again in July. I have a couple of girlfriends, some friends that I just love, and they are doing, they do a Connect with Nature in Hawaii. They do retreats, and in Bimini, the Bahamas, they do retreats. And these retreats are done by two of my really dear friends that you guys would just love. And they're Lisa Denning is one, and Heidi Tejana is another one. And these women have been doing retreats in Hawaii for years, and they connect with the dolphins and the whales. And if there's anything that you would want to be doing in the water, they provide the most amazing retreats, and they call it Connecting the Land and the Sea. So if you can, Renee's going to put online, you can actually go and check out their websites. And the first one is Lisa Denning, DENNING.com. And Heidi Tejana, which is a little different. That's HYDEETACHANA.com. But Renee's going to put those up so everybody can check that out, because I would love for everybody to see their work, because I think their work is really special, and you guys would love traveling with them. But again, that's not until 2024, but they're booking them now. So I wanted to give a shout out to them. So let's talk about the astrology that's going on. This is a crazy time, isn't it? It just is. Really, really challenging time, as we have been talking about for weeks and months, actually. So the first thing I want to talk about is that, remember, we are in the middle of two eclipses. We just had the first eclipse on Saturday, on October 14th, and we have the second eclipse on October 28th. And these are powerful eclipses. In fact, the lunar eclipse on the 28th of October is the largest eclipse until the year 2025. And eclipses bring change. Eclipses bring endings and beginnings. So that's why we talk about them so much. So if your birthday is anywhere in this time period that I'm talking about, from say October 14th to the 28th, well, I would expect some big change in your life. But even on the outskirts of that, if your birthday was a little before, a little after, I would expect some big changes in your life. And in fact, eclipses bring changes to everybody's life. So that's the first thing. We've got the second eclipse on October 28th. So this energy is fierce. The second thing is we still have Mars, the planet of war and intense energy, conjunct, which is next to Ketu in Libra in Vedic astrology. And that lasts until October 30th. So Ketu is also the planet of intensity. Ketu is the south node of the moon, and sometimes we call it the tail of the dragon. And it's always associated with like mystery and spiritual detachment and liberation. And it represents these energies that transcend our karma. So it's they bring a lot of intense times together, this conjunction with Mars. Okay, so that's going on. So when people say, why is the energy like this? There's another reason too. So on October 18th, that would be this Wednesday, on October 18th, in Vedic astrology, the sun enters Libra. And the sun is debilitated in Libra, which means it's weak in Libra. Libra wants peace. But unfortunately, this is not going to be a time that brings in peace, because October 18th to October 21st, Ketu, again, that I was just talking about, the south node of the moon, and Mercury, which is the fastest moving planet and one of communications, and the sun, which is now in a weakened state in Libra, they come together, they conjunct, they come together. And when planets come together, it does make them pretty strong, actually, very strong. But at the same time, between October 18th and October 21st, it squares Pluto. Now, Pluto is the god of the underworld, death, and transformation. So this next few days are going to be, brings intensity yet again. So I don't see this at all anytime soon backing down. If anything, I feel everything is ramping up. So, and then at the end of the month, we have at the 28th, we have the lunar eclipse, and that will go across the United States again, okay? And that's going to be a very intense eclipse, and we'll talk about that next week. Okay, and then we'll talk about the beginning of November next week too, because all of these aspects are very fierce. So that's what's going on astrologically. Aren't you glad you asked? Here we go. So having done the astrology, let's get to some amazing times right now, because I have the best guest tonight, and I'm so excited to bring on our guest. So I met our guest through we have a mutual dear friend, Sue Schaefer. So Sue and Steve, if you guys are watching, I want to say hello to you guys. They introduced me to Patrice Bisiot several years ago. In fact, Patrice has been on my show many, many times. So Patrice is a highly sought after branding and image consultant. He works with that's my daughter, Hollywood's A-list celebrities. And he works with award shows and red carpet events, entrepreneurs and global leaders. He mentors. He helps people build a personal or professional brand. And tonight we're going to be talking to him particularly about spirituality. And he believes that spirituality is the biggest component of building a brand, because it requires peace and self-love in order for that image to happen. So please let me welcome to our show, Patrice Bisiot.
Kellee, bonjour.
Patrice, bonjour. Now, you just came back from Paris, right?
I just came back a few days ago. Yes, it was Paris and Florida, New York now. So yeah, jumping around.
Wow. And do you know, the last time I saw you in person, we were actually in a studio in Hollywood, at the Hollywood Studios.
My God.
I don't know if you remember this, but it made an impression on me for life. And I'll tell you what it was. You called me before the show, and we were meeting in Hollywood, at the studio in Hollywood. And you called me and you said, Kellee, out of the blue, you said, what's your favorite flower? And I said, do you remember this? And I said, and I didn't know, I had no idea what you were asking about. I just literally went into my favorite flower are daffodils. And you said, daffodils? And I said, yeah. And it was fall. I think it was fall. There was no way there were daffodils in season. And you came to that studio a couple of hours later, and I've never in my life seen that many daffodils. I don't know to this day where you found them, but you brought me, it must have been, I don't know, 10 dozen daffodils. And I'll never forget that, because it just blew me away, and it really touched my heart. I just always wanted you to know that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it was a bear for your grandkid too, because your grandkid
Yes.
just was born.
Yes. Yes. Good memory. Yes.
I
He
don't
still has
remember.
that bear, by the way.
He does?
He does. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's so sweet of you. So
Of
tell
course.
us, everybody, tell us what you're up to these days. Tell me what you do. So explain to everybody what you do, because it's so fascinating.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, so for those who haven't been with us together, so my career started out in Paris, where I'm from, with hair. Hair was always the choice and the craft of choice that I've made, because that's something that to me was not just the art of it, but the help, the self-help you provide to someone else, the empowerment I was bringing. But I also had the component of entrepreneurship. So by the age of 18, I was managing 3 salons in Paris for one of the largest brands in Paris. And that got me to come to the US. And very soon after, I opened my business very young. In fact, that's when I met Sue. And then from that, my journey expanded when I hired my PR in Beverly Hills. My brand turned into celebrity hairstylist, a lot of red carpet moment, interviews. Then I became more of a power where it came on the fashion and the trends and what was going on. But all throughout this journey of doing that, I also realized that I was helping with the hair, but the hair became the clothing became the accessories, it became the body posture, the voice pitch, and naturally my clients trusting me, I realized actually I was helping them building their brand, because the questions were always about how do you feel within? Because the whole make me sexy, make me beautiful, make me powerful. Well, it depends if you go in front of the media to make an apology, or you go in front of the media to promote the new product you have, or you're an A-lister promoting your movie premiere on the red carpet. These are very different messages. So I needed to know first in images, how do they emotionally connecting with the words they were giving me? And by doing that exercise with my clients, just intuitively and naturally, well, I realized I had something going. And that's when my first book, Mind Your Hair, showed up. And that got me to be my own aha moment to realize, wow, this is like the backstage of actually telling people you cannot just decide on a whim what's going to happen with your hair. Your hair is the most emotional connecting piece that you have, that you can control, and you can take one way or the other. So that got me to be signed by a keynote agent, and that I started doing a ton of female empowerment and self-development. But I also realized, but there is more into what I do. I realized, yeah, hair is part of a conversation, but it's an overall thing. So then it became more of bridging the personal to professional, but in it, and that's where we're going to go. I realized, you know what? If you're not aligned within, and if we don't go deep, deep, deep into the core of it, and if every morning you're not perfectly aligned, how are you going to choose your outfit? How are you going to go and conquer the world? How are you going to go on a date successfully? How are you going to go and pitch a client? How are you going to go and maybe it's promotion day or a job interview? All those elements are crucial to understanding the alignment within. So my second book, Mind Your Impact, Style Interventionist, now I'm going a lot deeper into the psychology of appearance. Understanding the moment you walk into the room, that nanosecond, that's when the deal is done. This is when you make your impact, your impression, and there is no turning back. It's not like, oh, I think I missed the mark. I have to go back home, kind of think about it and go back to it. Because again, the appearance is the last piece of that puzzle. First, you need to sit down with yourself. That's why first there's a mood board and there's an exercise with words. And part 3 actually is spirituality on my coaching program. And I would never tell that to the clients first, because they think, okay, something is wrong with the guy, for sure. I mean, spirituality, what does that have to do with my brand? It's got everything to do with your brand, because if there is no alignment, there is no success personally and professionally.
Right. What is a good way that people can get aligned spiritually?
Well, that's a deep work, because that's the thing. Everybody wants to have the shortcut of everything. So they think they hire me. He's going to help me with my wardrobe. Yeah, he'll give me a few tips and tricks on how to speak and how to carry myself, my shoulders, my neck, my head. but I have nothing to do with any of that. What I'm going to help you doing is identify the you within. And that's why spirituality is huge, because you, by doing so, you're going to have to go so deep down that you're going to realize that in the morning, you have to be aligned, because then branding is purpose. Branding is emotion. Branding
Right.
is everything you put together every day. And for that to happen, well, you need to start your day calmly, because if you don't have that piece, I mean, I have to start like this morning. I woke up super early and it gave me my 20 minutes of guided meditation. I felt like sometimes I changed the meditation a little bit, but I need that before my day is going to go crazy and I'm going to be on an airplane and more people. And I need that alignment to know, silly, like, what am I going to wear? Oh yeah, that resonates with me, because with that element of peace in the morning, every answer I need is just coming in front of me.
Boy, that makes so much sense, especially when you get very calm in that moment, because all of us are going to have days where we're rattled and we're running and we're going. It's second nature almost when that happens. And I heard this story today about Los Angeles, which is where I'm born and raised, that it was, I think it's like the number 2 city in the country, or maybe even number 1 with the most stress. And all that time I was doing spiritual work. I was under a great deal of stress in Los Angeles. I'm under less stress now, a lot less stress now. Being, on a farm in Wisconsin makes it a lot easier for me to be able to be centered and grounded. But so what you're suggesting is, when you first wake up, perhaps go into a meditation, get centered for the day. And
Yes.
it really goes along the line, Patrice, of know thyself. What is it that you want to brand, right? I mean, what is it that you're trying to do? And then going inward and asking those questions, the deep questions to yourself, because then it lines up.
Absolutely. You make it. I mean, that's exactly the question I ask, because often people are literally telling me, well, you're the genius and you're going to tell me what to do. And I was like, but that's not how that works. And
Right.
my clients do that, and they still do that, because I have some very high, powerful clients, like with their hair, they'll do the same thing where it's like, do whatever you want. And I say, there is absolutely no way I'm going to do what I want. I'm not here to do that. What I'm here is to translate your words, your emotions, your purpose, your goal, what you have in mind. What does that look like in your mind that you want to make over, which I hate that word, because you don't make yourself over. You just make yourself better or different, but you don't make it over. It doesn't exist. We are a product of evolution. Evolution is the only way we go from point A to point Z. We don't just jump it. We have to go through every letter of the alphabet before we get to Z. So that's why it's really important when someone wants a change to say, all right, let's identify the change. Why is it? Maybe she's getting divorced. Maybe he's getting a promotion and now he's got on the rank of an executive. Whatever the reason is, there is always a reason for the source of it. And then we can see, all right, this is actually what you want to do. Now I can take you through that bridge and go from where we are to the destination.
I'm getting a lot of questions about people that are maybe depressed, or they're like slugs all day. What is a good way to get somebody motivated, I guess,
All right.
in a way that they could, think about their life?
All right, that's also another great question, because you see, that's the thing. People think that because I'm an energizer bunny like that all the time, my energy level is super high. In fact, that's why many times people ask me what kind of drug I take, because they'd like to take the same. Well, guess what? I take no drugs, people. So anyway, but it's the thing. You have to understand that I have days, just like you, where my mind will go down and I've beat myself up over, I don't know, maybe I didn't get the deal, these, that, or, I'm dealing with my mom's health. So it can have ups and downs. We all do. We all have sluggish days. We all have days where it's like, eh. But you know what? The thing is with me, and I'll give the example of that to understand that it's very simple to do so, because at the same time, of course, saying to people, okay, get up and go. No,
Right.
Just realize your wealth. Like, I drive easy. I'll see someone in a wheelchair at the corner, on a crossroad asking for money. I'll see a kid that's injured. I'll hear about friends that, losing loved ones through cancer. And then I say, you know what? Shame on me for the drama I'm playing in my head and that
Oh, I
shadow
like
box that keeps on going, because it's like, my life is wonderful. I travel where I want. I eat what I want. I go to the most incredible places. I mean, tomorrow my client is taking me to the rooftop of where, he's renting this enormous penthouse. Like, I have that life. So I'm like, how dare me, with all the people around me that have like such horrible situations, that would trade my life in a nanosecond without even thinking. So girls of the world and guys, because it's a gender neutral conversation, we all have those days. We are emotional beings. In fact, I remember one time I asked my guru, who introduced me to all that, and I said to him, well, I have a question. Do monks get depressed?
Great question.
Yeah. And he goes, of course they do. I'm like, no, but they're monks. They have understood everything there is to know about spirituality, alignment, and universal laws. And he's like, well, yeah, but human beings, what do you think they are? Testosterones are going to go down, hormones are going to go down, and it unbalances people. So you have to take back the control of your mind. But of course they are. And that day I thought, oh, but if the monks could be depressed, well, then I have the right to be too on occasion. And it's okay to be like that. You could just play a day down and just chill and watch Netflix, eat something that's rewarding to you, that's comforting. Don't beat yourself. That's the thing. I used to beat myself for everything. If it was not perfect, I mean, what I imagined was perfect, I had to beat myself up. So don't do that. Understand the value of you. You are on this planet for a purpose. We all have a great purpose. And people think because you have to be famous or president of a country, no, you don't. Touch one life, your child, your neighbor, an old person that needs you, an animal, maybe a shelter, whatever it is, you have value. And of course, you're going to have, again, days that are going to go down. Those days are not there to stay. Identify them, step back, watch it like a movie set where you want to look at the whole thing and realize that the entire picture of your life is actually pretty good.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, gratitude is everything, isn't it?
Absolutely, of course.
It is. There was a question here, and this was from Anne Margaret, who asked, she says, hi, Patrice. She said, happy Monday. She said, what a word. And it was quite a day. I was sad to hear about Suzanne Summers yesterday. Did you know her? I did not know her, but
I met her a long time ago. She was so gracious. We met on the red carpet, actually. It was years ago. My God, it was like 15 years ago. And just wonderful and gracious and kind. You could tell she was not playing the Hollywood game. She was just her, Yeah,
that's so true. It's always what I've heard about her. She says, how does one approach spiritual dressing daily? Which is a good question.
Mm-hmm. That's it. What I was saying. In the morning, it's part of your ritual. Because like you were saying earlier, Kellee, when you start your day frantically, and I'm going to take the reverse in order to answer the question for Margaret, which is you start your day frantically. The alarm didn't go off, or maybe you put the snooze button and suddenly it's like, oh my God. If you watch your day that day, this is like a nightmare ready to happen because you're behind. You don't have time for breakfast, so you're kind of hungry, so you're cranky. Now you're in traffic, and law of attraction is going to grab it, so you're going to have every red light there is before you get to the office, and on it goes and on it goes. Now, you're going to have picked whatever outfit, your hair, God knows what it's going to look like, maybe in a clip, because that's the thing. If you don't bring that spirituality element in the morning as a ritual to just chill, and it doesn't have to even be 20 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, but you need those 5 minutes. And those 5 minutes are going to change everything because then now your head is calm. And if you close your eyes, which I make my client do in the middle of a frantic day, I do it. I'll try to find like a stall, a bathroom, but like actually like those private or handicapped bathroom where you can actually be in the dark. Even if I close my eyes for 3 minutes, and then I let my mind calm down, and then suddenly I open my eyes, and it's like a new beginning.
That's a very good idea.
So Margaret, of course, spirituality has everything to do. Before you could pick your outfit, you're going to identify, okay, what is today? Is it a regular day at work? Is it lunch with the girl? Is it a black tie tonight? Or whatever it is that you have that day, it's going to be something going. But if you're not calmly approaching your day, there is no way you can successfully do it. Because if you do it without a purpose, without a goal, without a mindset of alignment, well, nothing good can happen from it. So
So true.
those few minutes in the morning for yourself, absolutely. You're going to walk into your
Necessary.
closet and realize, oh, yeah. I know exactly. Today I feel colorful. Today I feel streamlined. Today I feel a little more traditional. Today, and it's going to, of course, depend on what you have to do that day. But that's going to give you the guidelines of where you're going and what you're going to wear.
Excellent. So Renee, I've got two great questions. Renee Hounsel says, color is everything to me because I align with the colors of the chakras every day that she does the singing bowl healing. She says, how do we explore our image and our style when color is the strongest pull? Can that be possible? Renee, that is honestly, is colors everything for me as well. So what do you think about that?
That's great. Color is a great point of departure. That's why the first step of the program is mood board, because everybody wants to change. Change feels like if I change, it'll be better. People have that. And yet people fear change, which is kind of the funny part of the humankind.
So true.
Everything out of the comfort zone is like, ooh, but at the same time, it's like, oh, change is new. That's why so many of my clients, they get divorced, they move to the other side of the country. I'm like, what have you done to yourself? Oh, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. Well, if you don't deal from the problem from within, girl, you could move on the moon. It's not going to change anything because your unhappiness is going to follow you. So colors are a great way to start, because colors, it's like music, because it's vibration to your eyes. The way music is to your ears, color is something you connect with because the emotion of you connects with that color. So from that, I love it because it's a great point of departure. How often I have clients that say, oh, I don't know what color I like. This is huge. Colors are everything. You pick colors on how you want to convey your message, how you're going to portray yourself. That nanosecond when you walk into the room, do you want to be soft and girly? Do you want to have a strong color? Because today maybe you're in the boardroom and you want a powerful color. Of course, color, the code of color is incredible. I mean, that's why feng shui is about that. The colors have a meaning for each of them because color is essential for the connection we have with the visual.
Oh, I love that. So Lisa Jamusian says, do you recommend certain colors for confidence and self-empowerment dressing?
Okay, that's where I'm going to stop. Yes, they are, but that's not how it works. It's not one fits all. It's not like blue is happy, yellow is springy. Yeah, it's got some of that. It could be where you wear gray and feel powerful or happy.
Well, you know, it's funny you said that. I've just got a new gray outfit, and I said, I never wear gray. It's like I never do, but I was just drawn to it. And I actually had to talk myself out of not buying it. I'm glad I got it because I really need to explore something new for me, because I have been in a certain color space for a long time, but something kind of just, I thought I can do this, but I had to literally talk myself into it.
There we go. You're the perfect, and you answer the question for half of that, because you see, suddenly you realize, and you don't know why. Well, I'll tell you why. It's the evolution of you. It's, you used to think gray because of the age, the lifestyle, whatever. Gray's sad. Gray is a horrible color. Gray's for funeral, like black. I mean, how many times did I hear, oh, you're going to a funeral? I'm actually think black is actually happy. But that's because my connection is different. And that's what you explained right now. So to answer your question, yes, there are colors that have a certain amount of message. Yeah, are you going to be bright yellow in the middle of the boardroom? Actually, I'd say if you own it, and if it's that style where you got to rock it completely, yes. Of course, color codes go with industries. You are more like, if you're in the banking, in the wealth management, in a hedge fund, of course, they're going to push you. Society will push you to doing like do it on the easy side of color, the blacks and the grays and the navy blues. But then by the same token, I'm like, all right, fine. Let's think of that for a second. When you go to a job interview, what do people think of all of the candidates? They're all going to think the same way and say, oh, or I have to go with a pantsuit, or, and the colors are going to be the same: gray, black, and navy blue. Thank you so much. Imagine the person, the headhunter or the HR, whoever's in front of you recruiting. Okay, after 100 people in navy blue and black and whatever, now you show up with your own color. Now you have something, a punch of color, maybe the pocket, maybe there's a scarf, maybe it's your purse, maybe it's the hair that's a little wilder. But that's the thing. Yes, of course, industries again have their codes. But if you bring, and that's where spirituality goes again, if this morning you started your day being, you know what? Yes, I'm going to wear that and I'm going to rock it. And yes, I know the industry is not so keen on brighter colors, but I'm going to own it. I can bet you the job, you will at least make the next cut, because that's going to be so, I mean, suddenly it's going to be like for the recruiter, like, wow, finally somebody that was themselves. And that's why color code is only good until it only applies to you. Wear it with pride. Own your colors. Spirituality is because you were aligned. That color resonated with you this morning. Wear it, own it, and just have fun with it.
So be yourself.
Of course.
Be yourself. I always say the first commandment is be yourself. The second commandment is be more yourself.
Absolutely. And it takes a lifetime of journey. People think,
Yes.
there's a magic trick again, or a step-by-step process. Yeah, and I help my client, empowering them, and in a short period of time, because I'm able to point out all the greatness about them. So finally we can deconstruct it, put it back into pieces, and have a beautiful alignment. And I realize, yeah, you have all of that in you and all those great values in you. But you gotta be yourself. This is the problem of society. I know that society is like, oh, be yourself and be who you are and get out there. And then you are yourself, you get bashed for it. So social media is the meanest. People will have comment. Your girlfriends are gonna talk in your back. Yeah, guess what? They're gonna talk no matter what, because they are unhappy. So own yourself, own your space, because there's only one life you were given. That's your one gift. So make the best of it.
Yes, absolutely. Vicki Nason says, hi, Vicki. She says, black and gray are my colors. I feel they are sophisticated, clean cut, beautiful, empowerment. The little black dress, dress it up, own it, love it, rock it.
Love it.
I love that, Vicki. That's so true. Renee Council says, absolutely, thank you. Grateful for the guidance. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you, Renee.
Very sweet. Very sweet. It's so true. You really do have to own it. You really do have to, be authentically in your skin, in the outfit that you want to be in, because then you can present the best way out there. When I first began, I was in the corporate world. I think you may recall. That's when I met Sue. I knew Sue for many years. I was in the corporate world, and I had to dress a certain way, and I had to have my hair had to be straight, and I had to do all of this. And when I got out of that, it was such a relief to me to be me. Such a relief that I didn't have to do the corporate bullshit all the time. It was, for me, it was like the greatest thing. And I could just be me. I could let my hair go curly and do whatever I wanted. And my mother used to say to me, don't dress woo-woo. Did you ever hear that expression, woo-woo? Like,
yeah, woo-woo,
when you're like a medium, like our psychic medium, don't dress like woo-woo. And I would say, what does that even mean, Mom? And she said, don't dress with those layers and the this. And so she had me kind of, I understood what she meant totally. And I never really did go down that path because she didn't want me to look like I was, I don't know, it's way out there. She knew I was out there. She didn't want me to be way out there.
That's right.
But
no,
anyway.
She didn't want you to be you. That's the problem.
It was. But, it's pretty funny. Here we go. Reba Eki says, I have a bright green women's business suit skirt that's been sitting in my closet because it resonated with it, but I have been shy to wear that. So let's talk about being shy to wear something.
Another great one. What I do, and I talk about it actually in my book, where I told my client, same thing, corporate, executive, everything was meticulously chosen, but the colors were very, again, the blacks and the grays and the thing. Now she's divorced. 10 years later, she's like, I want to go out and meet the guy of my dream. I'm like, you look like you're going to a board meeting every time. Of course. So what do you do emotionally to the guy? You feel like you're still at work because those colors, by looking at yourself, you don't disconnect from work to where you are. Now the guy thinks, okay, that's okay. So she's offering me this. She's going to talk business all the time. And she's, so sure. Until I said, all right, who are, and she said, oh my God, I'm dying to wear flowers. I'm dying. In fact, it was in New York. So we went to Bergdorf first. I mean, we went to like the best department store, but I think Bergdorf was the first one because it was years ago. But that's the thing. And she goes, oh, no, no, no. Oh, my God, no. I would look ridiculous with those flowers. And I'm like, okay, I stayed home. Oh, and then, of course, I love my little question until she's like, well, me? Oh, okay. You're the only one in that game because no one is speaking to you but yourself. Okay, so it's in your head. Got it. Why don't you go and try it on? Try it on at first. Oh, my God, this is so loud. I'm like, loud? What's loud for you? Well, all those colors and the flowers, I'm not used to that. Everything I wear is one color and it's streamlined and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why don't we buy it? And she can afford it, believe me. And now what we're going to do is you're going to keep it and we're going to walk down the streets now. We're going to put you in the zone of it and see if you're in a zone or if you keep on looking at yourself like you look like a parrot from the jungle. Well, that's the thing. First, of course, the resistance, because that's what we do. When we're scared of something, we resist. Oh, no, 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 no. You crazy? I'm going on Fifth Avenue with that dress? I'm like, oh, yeah, we are. Yes, we are. And this is the thing. I wanted to push her out of her comfort zone just to say, give it a try. I understand we all have rules and regulations we put in our minds and heads, and apparently we think that we look good a certain way. People perceive us better a certain way. Until you realize, of course, I knew what I was doing. We get out, literally the first super elegant woman said, oh my God, I love the dress. Now we heard that every block, somebody was commenting, doing something, and then the reflection, obviously, in New York, all the windows are like giant mirrors. And she started saying, yeah, well, yeah, maybe it's not so bad. When people say that, it's like, that means they like it. They have a hard time now admitting to it. And by the time we were done, 3-4 hours later, I'm like, so what's the assessment? She goes, wow, I actually realized that I felt empowered and I dared the flowers and I had compliments, which I never get. People never give me compliments like that. I'm like, all right, so what's the takeaway? She's like, to try new things. And I say, yeah, and not only just try them now, you're not going to push yourself and go on a date for the first time wearing something completely foreign to your brain. Wear it. Go to the supermarket with it. Go to whatever you do, wear it. Same thing with shoes. First of all, you never wear brand new shoes for an event. You want to break them. But not just break them, you also want to get them into, like break into them. Sorry, the Frenchness came back for a second. But that's the thing. Look at your feet, see how you feel, see how now it resonates with me. Again, spirituality, alignment. It's like, yeah, it's very me. I didn't think it was me. Someone will comment at one point or another to say, wow, this is gorgeous. Oh my God, I love those. So I love that dress. And that's how you accrue your self-empowerment. And that's how you can raise your vibration into loving what you wear. So go ahead. If you have that outfit in your closet, wear it for anything. Just wear it to get yourself used to, get
and it changes
reaction.
the internal part of you when you do that.
Of course.
Because you're letting go of something and it's almost a freeing thing and you're discovering something new about yourself. I mean,
Not
that
almost.
woman, that's such a great story about her, the flowers. I mean,
Mhm.
that would have scared most people out of their comfort zone, but you got her to do that.
Hey, by the
That's
way,
amazing.
she went on a date. For the little story, she went on a date and it went successfully. In fact, they got engaged very little after. So, and he said, my God, when you walked with this dress to me, you were a dream come true. And she was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, that's my wardrobe. He's like, if you had showed up with those outfits, I would have never even got on a second date because I would have thought I was
Okay.
going to work.
To hear this comment. This is from Reba. She says, thank you. Your story made me tear up a little because it hit home for me. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Reba, for saying that. I mean, I think it's going to hit home for a lot of people.
It hits home for a lot of people.
Because all of us, or many of us, not all of us, but many of us, you know, we are so used to a certain way to be that it's hard to try something new. And it really does put you back if you don't try something new. I mean, really what you're saying is, you know, move forward in life And spiritually, that's what we're here to do, to move forward in life. And I love that, to get out of their comfort zone on some level here. Vicki Nason, hi, Vicki. She says, hair done, nails done, a tiny bit of makeup, not too much, a great pair of sunglasses. I'm all for that, Vicki. Great shoes. I'm all for that. They don't have to be fancy.
There you go.
You wear a tent and you'll ace it, and a great smile. That's so true. That is so true. Okay, T. Taylor says, how does one who's had a physical transformation, she lost 100 pounds. Wow, that's amazing. That's great. Align to their new self with authenticity. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you. It's such a great question, T. Thanks for asking that question.
Great question, because this is the thing again, huh? Society and the whole embrace yourself, and you got extra pounds and you become like, oh, okay, whatever, because apparently size 0 is supposed to be the trend. Now, and I'm going to give an example that goes exactly with that, which thankfully, because of all the lawsuit they had to stop those stupid shows, which are the makeover shows. But on the weight thing, I'm going to give you the psychology of how it works, because we take this lady, usually they, of course, America loves cliches, so they take this poor girl out of, poor girl, but yeah, poor, actually usually poor in every sense of the way, emotionally, financially, and all. And, you know, she's overweight for what society has decided to be overweight. So then they're putting her through this whole transformation. But let's stay with the weight. So they're happy to make her run and do cowbells and jump and I don't know what else to lose half of her body weight. Okay. So of course, TV loves drama and TV loves extreme. So by doing so, it's like you got your girl 3 months ago and today's the reveal. You know, I cannot give the name. Well, I wouldn't even care, but there was one that was very, you know, obvious about it. That the name of it was, you know, basically that, the reveal. And so the reveal goes, yes. Now we see everybody cries, the family cries, everything. Now, mind you, in the contract, it does say that they're going to have a psychologist following them. What did the, you know, networks did? Oh, please, we're doing them a favor. We're doing the teeth, the hair extension, the body, who cares? And the lady for 3 months does not have a mirror to look herself into. Now, yes, 3 months later, clapping, she's in an evening gown that's expensive, that a designer provided, and she's wearing the jewelry, somebody, and she's wearing hair extensions she'll never be able to redo or afford. I mean, just nonsense all the way through. But again, body weight. So now she's literally, they're putting her in front of a mirror and they're unveiling, I mean, they're taking the curtain away so she can see herself. So now, of course, for a moment, she cries because it's so shocking to her that it's the new person that she doesn't even know existed in her. But what happened is, so yeah, right at that moment, again, the drama, the music, the confettis, the balloons, I don't even know what for the production to make it, wow, she looks like a superstar. So not only that look is completely unrealistic and she'll never be able to do it or afford it, but now let's talk and stay with the weight. Now she's going home with half of that body weight. By any standard in society, she should be so happy, right? Well, the problem is because the bridge was never done. The evolution was too rapid. There was no connector, therefore professional helping her to understand that. Now, in the mirror, nothing has changed. Huh? She still sees the big girl that she was 3-4 months ago before the TV program. Now, what happened? Let's go, because you know when you drop something, the ripple, that's the most affecting part of life. Now the husband is looking at her. Yeah, I mean, he's thinking tonight, yum, yum. Okay, great, for a moment. But now he's thinking, oh, but I live in the middle of Alabama, and all my friends are going to look at my wife and go, so, yum, yum. Now he's starting getting insecure. And she doesn't understand why he's insecure. So now you're starting having that emotional vibration that's completely off because she still sees herself as the big girl. Now he thinks that maybe she's going to go and run for someone else. And you see, this is how losing weight is not just the fact of all. I know it's great, and it's great to fit into something smaller. I just did it. I lost a few pounds, 11 or 12. And I was so happy to fit into, but that's because I did it willingly, and I loved it. I loved the process of it, going to the gym and doing it. So I felt like, okay, I'm working with that, not just I'm doing it because people expect me. If I'm a branding and image consultant, I mean coach, I should be fit and I should walk into anything that's cut for me. So that's why to that body weight, of course, kudos. You lost 100 pounds. That's an incredible accomplishment. I don't even know how a human being can actually have that focus and that mindset of being able to stay with it. So give yourself the biggest applause, but do it with love. Do it not because society hopes that you're going to lose even more. And we have example. When I saw Jennifer Hudson losing all that weight suddenly, Adele is another example. She was great. She was plump and round, and her voice was a lot deeper, by the way. And now it's like, oh no, I mean, let's all shrink everybody because we all have to have the same model in, social media and in the media in general. Now think of it. That body weight represents who you are. So if you're happy to have lost 100 pounds, great. But if you did it for someone else, because that's always the question, am I doing it for myself or am I doing it for someone else? Am I aligned with it and loving the idea so much, or I'm just doing it, resentfully, but my husband wants me. My friends tell me I'm too big. The world is telling me that. No. So if you own it, yes, go out there and claim it on the rooftop. But if you do it for others, that's not a good mindset. So make sure you have done for you.
And it does take time to get to that authentic place. Because
Absolutely.
I know that when you have lost a lot of weight, you would look in the mirror and maybe not even recognize yourself. So it takes some time to really get there. It just does. So just be, just take your time with that one, just get to become as authentic as you can. But I appreciate what you just said very much. That makes so much sense. So I've got a lot of really good questions here. Okay. Kyle Hodges says, so you try something new. When someone criticizes you, how do you recover to try again?
Oh, okay. That depends on who you're talking to, because I'll be like, see you. Okay.
Right. I was going to say James is the same way. James would do the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have learned, and you see, I used to belong to a mastermind where I met some amazing people. In fact, one of them is Cindy Brown, who is helping me crafting my second course online. But one thing that he said, that the guy that owns it, JB, and it was just the most simple comment and the most incredible one. He said, okay, you're going to get out there, and the more some of you, and I was probably the most public at all the people, I was the most public. But he said, when you get out there, you better be ready, because there's a group of people that doesn't like you. Okay?
I've heard that over and over and over.
But now I'm going to give a little statistic, because that's like where it's like, huh? Yeah. So we all think that 50% doesn't like us and 50 love us. Okay, let's think of that one again. 80% of the people, they cannot stand you. They don't like what you do. They don't want anything to do with you. 80%. Now, you think, oh, okay, well, that's 20% that like me. No, not yet. 10%, they're one way or the other. What you do, they don't hate you. No, they're just above, but they can care less what you do. You do it one way or the other. If you wear pink or if you wear black, well, they really don't care, but at least they don't have any vindictive thoughts on you. Oh, so now it's like 10% like me? No more. No, not yet. 5% of the people now, they like you, kind of. And on occasion, like Kellee, they'll sit in front of your show to watch it. They'll buy maybe a course online you have, or a consultation with you, or coaching program, whatever you have, or maybe you do a live event, but they'll buy it on occasion. But they kind of like you are somewhere in their vicinity. Yeah, you've heard well, and now you have done the calculation well. 5% of people will actually like you, or love you, adore you, or think what you say it resonates with them. You bring value to them. And if you think now, so you think 5%, that's it. So now he converted it into a digital and it sells a dollar amount, which is always where the brain kicks, because that's the most sensitive commodity in our lives. And he said, yeah, 5%, it's plenty. to be happy. I'm like, 5%. I want everybody to buy my book and love my coaching and love me and I'm lovable and look at me. And yeah, it's like, okay, think of how many million people are in the country. What, 320 or something? Well, it's like, think of 5%. Think of 3% that will buy your stuff. And now he's starting, he's like, yeah. And he puts the number and he's like, every month you'll make $1 million. I'm like, oh. And he's like, actually, by having 1,500 people following you and loving and buying anything and everything you have, 1,500 people. And I put it into perspective of business, of course, because I was there to accrue my business, to understand digital, because that was something that was very counterintuitive for me. But I understood it also as my friends. Who are my friends? And who are all those people I have around me and the 700 phone number I have in my phone? Who is really there for me?
Right.
And then you start counting, 2 hands already are plenty. And actually, probably 1 hand is still plenty. So to answer the question, and I kind of took a loop, which is a loop, but not really a loop. It does go with the answer. Wear what you want, because someone out there, and it could be your best friend. Oh, you look fat in it. Oh, you look ugly. That color is gross with your skin tone. You'll always hear something that's just so like, wow, thanks. But you see, I used to say thanks, and I'm like, okay, your opinion. Like for music, we do the same thing. Oh, I hate that music. Oh my God, how can you listen to this stupid music with that stupid song? Yeah, it's stupid to you because that doesn't resonate with you. And it's something that is not really your vibration. That's why if you put a bowl of water next to a speaker playing, classical music, it's going to have a gentle ripple, it's going to be just enough of the vibration on the surface of the water. Now you put it next to a speaker that plays hard rock. Well, the water is going to spill. It's going to have all those ripple and it's going to go crazy. Yeah, it's called vibration. Because that's why some people love hard rock. That's why some people love classical. Some people like rap. Some people like pop music. Whatever your genre is. Because it's about vibration. So you cannot please everyone when you create a song. Of course, you want everybody on the planet to be buying your tune, online. But that doesn't work like that. And it's okay because you don't want everybody.
Yeah.
You don't want everybody. You want quality in your life. Quality over quantity. That's how has been my motto. To me, it's a $500 haircut. I've always been my $500 haircut girl. Then doing 20 people, and those 20 people, they're going to be unhappy, because the lower you dilute your brand, the more you dilute who you are and the essence of you, the more you try to be the crowd pleaser, the less quality you're going to have around you, and you're not going to have any friends. And at the end, you're the miserable one, being frustrated all the time because this one didn't listen to you when you were depressed. This one didn't share a good opinion. This one, because you're not choosing the quality. So let them talk and make a critic. Yes. Does critic sounds fun? No. Even I'm well over that. Yeah, for a second, you're like, okay. But, the thing is, it takes me literally a second to be like, okay, see ya.
Because you know who you are.
Because I know who I am, but it took me all those years to get here. I was the example, like crowd pleaser in the dictionary. There was my picture next to it. I had to walk into the room. Oh my God, do I look good? Do people love me? Am I French and cute? And, and it's like, who cares now? It's like, okay, if you don't like who I am, you are the one losing, because I bring a lot of value into this, planet. And that's it. And I move on because I don't care. But I didn't come here instantly. It took me many years and many, many years of work. Also losing everything. When I lost everything and I slept in my car in 2010 for about 3.5 months, that put everything. You want to talk about spirituality and putting everything back into perspective, to saying, who am I? What do I want? I had 4 businesses. I was doing a lot of real estate, my salon and spa. I had an interior design firm. I had a faux finishing company until everything collapsed, because the market collapsed, and then all my clients collapsed with it. They were not paying me, and because they were not paying me, well, everything went to hell within a month. And sleeping in my car, for me, who was very arrogant about my success and pretentious, and because my ambition could not know any limit. When I was a kid, I used to prove, especially to my father, who was not exactly a nice man, that I was greater than what he was saying, or when he was beating me up or whatever. And then it's like, okay, I'll show you who's going to be the winner at the end. So I had that mindset of like continual, perpetual, I want to be more. I want to be more. So want to be more. I want everybody to love me. I want everybody to think I'm great. And it didn't work like that. And when I lost everything, first of all, I lost a lot of friends. I realized, oh, wow, so much for those friends. And I realized that's what it is. I need to know me. I need to align with me. I need to spiritually know who I am so now I can be out there and do great things and help others, because now I'm helping me. So the long of the short, or the short of the long, is you have an outfit you want to wear. You want to wear hair color. This is something on your mind. Do it. Own it. Get out there. You could change it. Clothing. You can take it off. Color. Well, you could, hair color. You could change it and go back to your person. But try it. Give it that chance to step out of your comfort zone and own it in front of the mirror.
I love all of this. I really appreciate what you just said to everybody. It's just so right on. It's right on. So I know we just have a couple of minutes. So here's my question. I know you're going to be doing a Facebook group. Can you tell everybody how they can reach you, what the Facebook group entails, everything?
Yes, I mean, the Facebook started existing. It got created this year, a little bit on hiatus during summer, but now I'm going back from next week on. It's going to be, I mean, there's still already a lot of content. It's a private group, so it's not like just, let's all get in there. And I want to make sure, actually, I can even do some cleanup in it, because I want people to be active. I want this to be a community where people speak their mind and ask the question without feeling like, oh, I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to look ridiculous. So that Facebook group is a place for you to understand how to build your brand, personal, professional. By the way, they go together at all times. You don't separate your body. Therefore, who you are at home and who you are at work is the same person, just traveling through space, but you are the same person. So that Facebook group is about you to build your brand. Maybe you just got divorced, maybe you got a promotion, maybe you feel like maybe today, you want to start thinking that, hey, I've been wearing the same clothing, I have the same style for the last 20 years. How am I doing all this? So that's what this group is all about. So I know Renee will put the link, and you could do that. You can email me as well. Renee has, it's info@talktopatrice.com. Same thing. You have a question, a personal question, something deep, and maybe you don't want to share it publicly, email me. I will always answer to you.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. So, and here's a great question before we leave too. Renee Hounsel asks, sometimes it seems we're intimidated to feel fabulous. So to get away from the ideas that being spiritual means we don't pay attention to style or enjoying expressing ourselves in our look. And that's very true, Renee. I find that, and that goes along with what my mother had said to me years ago about, don't dress woo-woo. I forget too, Renee, because I've led such a spiritual life in the last several years, that I still love to pay attention. I have to remind myself to style and expressing myself and all of that. So thank you for that.
Of course, that's great. That's why spirituality, of course, you want to enjoy life and enjoy what you wear and enjoy who you are. You have to be aligned within. You can't force yourself to be happy or be scared because you're wearing feathers. I met this girl in Paris last week. It was amazing, or the week before, because I was there for a couple of weeks. Of course, she was American, kind of Liza Minnelli, loud, pink dress, big feathers on one side. I mean, you have to dare it. You're in Paris wearing pink and feathers, sister. I mean, I was like, early October, you go, girl, from Chicago. Super fun. But that's the thing. She said, yeah, but I love my life and I want to have fun with it. I'm like, no, girl, kudos. I love that. We took pictures. And then when she saw I was an author, she's like, oh my God, you're famous. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's about having fun. So we had a drink together. She bought me a drink. I mean, I felt very special to be maintained and kept up. Look at me. I still have it going on. But, that's the thing. But trust me, the outfit was out there. It was a long gown. And, it's not Paris at all. But she owned who she was. And she said, I know the dress code is far from the Paris kind. But I say, who cares? You're having fun with what you're wearing. And she said, I'm having a blast. I love this dress. I feel like a movie star. I said, well, you look like one, and great for you. You are wearing it, rocking it, and it was amazing to look.
I love that story. I love that story. Lynn Humza says, Patrice, I love all your advice and words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing. You have really helped me. Everybody say, Mary says, this has been so great. Thank you for the Facebook page. Incredible episode. Continued blessings. Really sweet. I want in, people are saying. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Patrice, so much for joining us tonight. I so appreciate you being on. And everybody, next week, I'm going to have Jen Weigel on, who's a wonderful spiritual leader in this community too. So you guys will love Jen. And Patrice, really, many blessings to you. You always knock it out of the park. So I'm so happy you joined us.
I love doing everybody. It anytime. We need to do it more often. Even
okay,
we say it every time, and then another year passes by.
No, because you have not met James yet. You've got to be on with James. He will.
There you go.
Love James. You know, the next time if you're ever in that San Diego area, you have to come and meet James.
I have a private client in San Diego, actually, so I go on occasion. Every couple of months, I'm there.
Good. Then we'll set that up for you. All right.
Awesome.
Stay on with me, Renee. James. Patrice. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
That was great. Maybe we changed some lives.
And maybe opened up some minds.
Which way do I turn?
Right. I mean left.
The James and Kellee Show.